Cheers.
Cheers. Okay. You know, sometimes when you think, oh, I better not tell that story because I don't want her dad to find out. You know that vibe?
Yeah, well, sure, yeah, her dad.
You see, you're interested now, aren't you?
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll tell the story. I'm in Bali.
You're in Bali.
At the buffet.
Yeah, I love a buffet.
Oh, I love a buffet.
You got to worry about buffets these days, but anyway, go on.
Why?
Because of COVID. I don't know.
Gee, that's big coming from you because I think the love of buffet would override your fear of COVID.
You'd reckon?
But anyway, it didn't override mine. I still love the buffet. Anyway, I was approached by two girls at the buffet.
Right.
Who were Australian. And anyway, got to chatting, blah. And she said that she'd had Bali belly, and we talked about that for a while because I'm an expert on Bali belly. And then
How do you get Bali belly? Is it from the food?
You can do everything wrong and not get it, or you can do everything right and get it. Is that right? Yeah. I don't know. I would say you'd probably get it from ice or salad, or maybe, I don't know, putting your mouth open under the shower. I don't know. I
told you that story about my friend. I haven't told on this podcast that he was in India and he was so careful, and at the airport he had a drink with ice.
Yeah.
And he got on the plane and went, uh-oh.
Yeah.
Because the ice is made from dirty water.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Congo.
He knew something was coming, and,
Yeah.
and there's no stopping that train. Anyway, she said she had that, and the doctor had to come to the hotel and blah, blah. And then she said, and I also had my phone stolen.
What?
She went to a nightclub in Bali, and her phone was stolen. So she had to claim her insurance. So her dad says, well, you're going to need proof. You're going to have to go to the police. And the police said, well, you're going to need proof from the nightclub to prove go to the security vision.
Did you sit down with these girls and pull up a chair? Selena, these girls have got a great story. Just join our table.
No, they did come over to the. So it wasn't me. Like they came over to the table later on and told the story. But you know, when you can go back to the pastries, you can have a pastry and a story, and then another pastry.
Well, also you're on holidays. You've got nothing to do. Why not listen to a story?
Nothing to do. So you love to get into a bit of a story and become a bit of an expert. So anyway, Dad says, "Oh, you better claim on insurance." So I have to go to the security footage, and she goes to the security footage. And she sees the person go to her pack which is on her back, unzip it, and take the phone.
Wow.
The only problem was,
yeah,
she was pashing on with a guy at the time. So,
oh no.
So she doesn't want her dad to see her pashing on with.
No, you don't want your dad to see that.
You wouldn't want your dad to see it, and it was a random guy. It wasn't like it was like
a boyfriend or a fiance.
Yeah, it was just some, Not that there are bad people in Bali, but
But they weren't working together, were they? Do you reckon the passion guy and the thief?
Oh, there's a good idea.
It wasn't the passion guy doing the stealing, was it?
No, it wasn't him putting his hand
around.
No, it wasn't reaching around.
I love you so much. Let me rub your bag.
But that's not a bad idea. I'll go in and pash, and you get her phone.
They could be working together.
They could be working together. So you just gotta be aware of that stuff. But anyway, she was and then how's this about horror stories from holidays? She goes, my worst thing that happened to me on holiday was I was up in the Whitsundays, I think at Hayman Island, and went for a walk around and then stepped into the shallows, only up to her knees, and got stung by a irriganji.
What's that?
That's like the killer jellyfish up in Queensland.
Oh.
And had to be chopped out.
Wow. She attracts trouble, this girl.
She attracts trouble.
Did she find the person who stole the wallet, or?
Well, we discussed it. She says, if I follow it through, I've got the problem of
the phone. It was a phone, wasn't it? Not a wallet. Yeah.
No,
yeah.
I've got the problem of going to the police station, getting the footage, sending it off, doing all the insurance. But she's going, do I write it off or do I follow it up? So
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, surely. I mean, I don't know if you lose a phone, can you just say you lost it?
Yeah, you can. You can, but I've never claimed the phone on insurance.
No, I've never
lost the phone.
I've dropped one down the toilet.
Oh. Oh, there's lights just come on in this place.
Oh, someone's come to the
Let there be light.
So anyway, I dropped down the toilet, and then they said, "Did you back it up to the cloud?"
They always say that.
Yeah, and then for, I don't know, for a few $100 they gave me a new one. I mean, I just write it off.
Yeah.
I don't care. Write it off. It wasn't a new phone. But hers was new and worth a lot of money.
Losing stuff overseas is traumatic. I got robbed in a park in Barcelona, but I fell asleep. This was in the 80s.
Because today on the radio they're talking about that in Barcelona.
In Barcelona?
There are a lot of pickpocketed.
Yes.
Yeah.
This was in the 80s, and I was with a girl, and we went to a park and fell asleep, and the police, and they just stole a bag we had, and the police officer said, "You do not fall asleep in a park in Barcelona."
Barcelona.
And at the police station, there was like a Japanese girl being pushed down a hill. He goes, "You reckon you're bad? This young lady pushed down hill."
Pushed down the hill, and then they took her stuff.
Yeah. I think they took her stuff, then pushed her down the hill.
Oh, I thought they would have pushed her down the hill first and then taken her
Yeah,
stuff.
I don't know, actually.
Because
but she had like dirt and stuff. I'm like, oh my God. Because Barcelona, sort of a bit of a crime capital of Europe. It's very beautiful. Have you been to Barcelona? Or?
Yeah, the Ramblas.
La Ramblas, yes.
I like the Ramblas, and I like the water, and I like the
it's great.
people are beautiful, and, you know.
I was talking to a guy the other day who was from Barcelona, and he was saying how it's all those places like Venice, Barcelona, they're all having the same phenomenon where all the locals are moving out and just renting out their houses on Airbnb because they're making so much coin. So they go live in the suburbs, and all the inner cities is full of Airbnb. He said it's ruining the streets of Barcelona.
I think I might have told the story before. I was in Rome and had heard about the pickpockets in Rome.
Yeah.
Did I tell you about the Trevi Fountain? Did I tell you about this story?
Yeah, no, and they hold the cardboard in front of you, those ones?
No, what's
anyway,
that one?
Go on.
No, you do yours.
The little kids come up and they've got like begging signs and they push it towards your waist and they go underneath into your pockets. Ooh, yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. What happened at the Trevi Fountain?
I was at the Trevi Fountain, and what I'd had heard is that they bump you, and while you're sort of responding to the bump, turning around, thinking about you being bumped, then they pick your pocket. So I'm standing next to the Trevi Fountain.
Yeah.
You know, taking a few photos,
throwing some coins in.
Throw some coins in. 3 coins is that 3 coins in the fountain?
I think so. Yeah.
Hope so.
We'll go with that.
Yeah. And then I feel the bump.
Oh no.
Okay, here we go. It's on. It's on.
It's on.
I held on to my credit card. I stood firm, and then the guy bumped me, stepped up, and then fell in the Trevi Fountain.
Well, that's a very extreme. Maybe that's a distraction.
And they had a proper camera and everything. And
so he's not a thief.
He's not a thief. He's just an idiot. He just went to go. He meant to step around me, bumped me, fell in the Trevi, and then
Fantastic.
and then would have wrecked his
yeah.
SLR and everything, and
Absolutely.
So anyway, so if you're out there,
Be careful.
Don't bump into people. But if you do want to bump it, go the pashing line, I reckon.
Yeah. It's tough, when I remember I was in Bali once and I was pashing a guy in a nightclub and they told me, hang on a minute, that wasn't me.
Wrong way, Dave. Wrong way.
Oh, here comes the music. Here we go.
Welcome to Somehow Related Now. Please welcome your hosts Glenn Robbins and Dave O'Neill.
Yes, welcome to the podcast. We get 2 topics, got to work out how they're related. And it's called Somehow Related.
Somehow Related, and thanks for all the people I haven't read any reviews lately.
No reviews, but we're charting. I noticed we're in the charts.
We shouldn't talk about it, but we're quite pleased that people.
Yeah,
I hope we're doing a good job. I
met someone the other day who was listening. I met one person who's listening. He said he loves it.
Yeah,
I can't remember who that was. Oh, it was a young person.
It was me.
It was a young person. No, it was you. Anyway, let's get our topics. What are they, Sam?
Aspirin and heroin.
Wow.
I've had one.
You've had both. You've had both.
I've never been offered heroin.
I don't think heroin's the kind of thing you get offered. It's not like marijuana. You're not at a party and someone says, "Do you want to smoke? You want to toke on this joint?" I don't think anyone's going, "Hey, you want to try heroin?" It's never happened to me.
Hang on. So how do you make the step across? Do you go?
I think you actively go after it.
So you go, and are you going after it because you're not feeling good? You're feeling bad and you want to feel good, or you're just going, "I want to be on a high. I want to get high, man."
I think in my experience, I had a friend who was on heroin. They just tend to move in those circles. So in this case, it was bands in the rock and roll world, and there'd be 1 or 2, whether it's the musicians or the roadies or whoever were on heroin, and then they all try it, and some get hooked and some don't.
So if it's in the room, and maybe it's in the room.
Yeah, I think it's in the room.
Yeah, because I often make that joke when I go to someone's office, like and I'll say, you better put a blue light in the toilet because I think people are shooting up in there. And it goes down well. Because that's a blue light, isn't it?
Yes.
Because you can't find a vein.
Yes. That's why they have blue lights in service stations. Yeah. Yeah, that's
Is
right.
that what? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I have never seen. Here's how naive. I've never seen a needle lying in the street.
You've never seen a needle in the street?
No. Don't think I have.
Wow.
But what have you seen in the street?
Yeah. Well, I used to live in Footscray. I lived in Richmond. These are all in the city.
And what sort of did you see the syringe
I've
part?
seen an actual syringe.
The syringe and the needle part.
Yeah, absolutely.
No.
Been on the park. Oh, kids.
But I am quite naive with that sort of stuff. I was in St Kilda.
Oh, big. Used to be a big heroin
And
area.
I was we won't say the name.
All
By a
right.
well-known comedian.
Oh, yes.
By a well-known comedian. And I
Who
said,
wrote a book about being on heroin? But anyway, go on. Yeah.
I don't like to.
Well, we're not naming them. Go on.
Yeah.
He or she.
He or she. And I said, hello, insert name here. What are you up to in this part of
Say
St
hello,
Kilda?
Phil. Let's call him Phil.
Hello,
Hey, Phil.
Phil, what are you up to? And he said, I'm looking for a friend of mine because he's got some CDs that I'm going to borrow from him.
That is the dumbest
So
excuse.
it was in Ackland
Ackland
Street. It was
Street.
in
That's
Ackland
one of the
Street.
big streets down
Yeah,
there.
it was in Ackland Street. And I went walking up down the street looking for a guy holding on to CDs. And then I went a little bit later on, I went, oh, hang on. Phil
Yeah.
was probably looking for his...
Drugs.
Yep.
Drugs. If anyone ever says, I remember there was a guy who was on heroin, he goes, I'm going to move up to Nimbin to dry out. Now, who moves to Nimbin?
Well, yeah, that's right. You know,
To a drug
you know,
area to dry out.
Yeah.
Look, heroin, I think it really gets a hold on people, though. People, once they're on heroin, they just,
I have heard.
they get desperate.
It's like talking about, it's on topic, kissing God.
Yeah.
Now, but hang on. Surely, kissing God. Why is that pop into their head? Is
Yeah,
God
I
a
don't
good
know.
kisser? God must be a really...
Must be a really good kisser.
God, if you're listening, I'm intrigued by what sort of kisser you are, because obviously heroin people think you are. No, I don't want to go into the details.
I mean, it's interesting though, heroin, because you have the stereotype image of the heroin addict, and I've certainly done. The voice. They always sound like Hughesy. Excuse me, mate. Sorry, mate. Excuse me, mate. You got like $1.40 for the train.
Yeah, on the nod.
You're like $1.40 for the train. When was the last time you caught the train? And
I let you go.
how quickly do they go into that world where they're just wearing tracksuits and that voice that they?
Do you reckon there are high functioning heroin addicts?
Oh, absolutely. My friend who was on heroin always kept a job, like just a.
So they just what they
Like an
microdose, or would they have the weekend and go woohoo and bang it on?
I think a bit of that kind of stuff. Like there's high functioning alcoholics, that work in normal. You could be a teacher or a truck driver.
What are you
or
high functioning?
high functioning junk food addict, chocolate addict.
Yeah, what am I high functioning?
You're just high functioning. I know that. Hang on, what's that? That's high maintenance. You're high maintenance.
High maintenance. That's what I am.
Yeah, heroin's. And it is interesting. I've seen people shooting up outside a house.
I've never seen
So
it.
I remember Hughesy coming and goes, mate, I don't want to alarm you, but there's people shooting up in a car outside your house.
And
So-
then they spoke to him, and that.
no, I
person-
went and banged on their roof. I went, hey, guys,
Not here.
move along. And the guy did the slowest getaway. He put down the needle and he went, I mean, Hughesy watching. Hughesy goes, great. He just drove off into traffic. So maybe we should have let him shoot up because he just got in. He just went and did the slowest getaway in his car. I was like,
But why did you not want them there?
because he might throw the needles out the window, or
Oh yeah, right.
there's kids around.
Yeah. It shouldn't
How's
be
this for a
encouraged.
dilemma? When I lived in, not where I'm living now, I saw a guy. I don't know why I've seen so many people shooting up in their cars. Because we used to live in a very quiet street, and there was like a big fence, and so people would occasionally pull up. You see people like pulling up and having a sleep there and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And there was a guy shooting up. Then, about 2 weeks later, I saw him at the kinder picking up his kid. And Kieran's like, oh, you should say something. I'm like, say something, what, to him? Or
How'd you go with?
And Kieran goes, maybe he's a diabetic. I'm like, oh, he's not.
Or maybe.
Well, maybe he was.
What did you see? Did he tie off his arm a bit?
Well, he had a needle. I don't know, and he looked a bit.
Maybe
Yeah.
a diabetic.
I don't think he was a diabetic. He looked quite fit actually, but he had a bit of that look of a heroin addict. Don't you say?
So what is it? It's an opiate, yeah.
Yeah, it's opium, isn't it? It's a form of opium, isn't it?
So that is what
poppies.
what's morphine? Morphine.
Yeah, I've had that.
I've had morphine.
Yeah, but
Good.
morphine, I didn't
it's
like
good.
it.
I didn't like it.
Made me vomit. You liked it?
I thought I was going to vomit, but then I went, if I do vomit, it'll be okay.
It'll be okay, man.
And I remember going, these people in this hospital are
Really
beautiful.
good. But
really.
then you stole some furniture and jewellery. Excuse me, just leave your phone with me.
Yeah, what's the one when they give
What's the best excuse? Have you ever people? I mean, I know. Do people in Bayside come up and ask you for money, where you realise it's obviously for drugs? But then, like your CD friend, they have a story.
Oh, often meaning they write the story on the cardboard. Sometimes they do that.
Sometimes they do that, but also this guy came to you and goes, "Excuse me, mate, I've got to go to Ballarat." I'm like, "Why do you have to go to Ballarat?" Which is an hour and a half, and he goes, "Oh, I've got like a school reunion on."
Don't question me. I don't prepare.
School reunion. I go, "How many years?" He goes,
No.
10 years. Wow. What school is that? Oh, it's a Ballarat school.
Next time you walk past there, he didn't ask for money, did he? Because he didn't want to be
No.
questioned by you.
There was the guy with the great petrol can when I lived in Yarraville. It was a girl, actually. She comes up and she goes, "Excuse me, I've run out of petrol." She had the petrol can with her.
What do you mean? Oh, I see. Yeah,
Petrol
Sorry.
tin,
I thought
where you put
yeah,
petrol
yeah.
in.
Yeah.
She goes, "I just need $5, $10 to get some petrol." I'm like,
that's
"Oh,
good.
God,
Good
that's,
ruse.
you know."
Yeah.
And then I go in the fruit shop and the guy goes, "Oh, you got stung by the petrol
Yeah,
can girl."
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
"What?"
It's like
She's got a prop.
yeah.
She's working with a prop.
Yeah,
Gotta respect that.
The window cleaning people often go, "Oh, it's my birthday today."
Oh, do they?
It's your birthday. Oh, gee.
I love those ruses.
Um,
Anyway, should we talk about?
no, but no.
You want to say more about heroin?
No, not saying more about heroin, but people outside my supermarket, because we do get them in Barton.
You do get beggars.
Yes, and I just, but the problem, I don't carry any cash anymore.
Oh yeah. They've got an FPOS machine.
Well, I just feel bad.
Yeah.
So some people, sometimes I buy them food.
Oh really?
Is that wrong?
No, that's good to buy them.
But why should I buy them?
Oh, chicken. Barbecue chicken. Only half. Oh, you got your half. I don't know. Like that's the thing is you go, I'll come in and I'll give you a drink.
Yeah, I bought chocolate. Is that all right? Or do they?
I think chocolate's good. One time there was a guy.
See, it doesn't need to be refrigerated. I'm worried about it going off. So if you bought him a chicken, it'd go off overnight.
Yeah, but they probably eat the chicken straight away. Who can't resist a barbecue chicken in a what they call the bachelor's handbag in the little plastic thing?
Oh, do they?
Yeah, the bachelor's
And
handbag.
I can never get it to close up again.
No, it never closes. Tell me what you think about this. I told this, and someone said this was stupid. I went to the dentist, right, and I was quite in some pain.
Yeah.
And there was a guy at the front screaming, like, "Wow!" And he was begging, but he was obviously in a lot of, I don't know what was going on.
He wasn't angry. He wasn't
No,
going. He wasn't psychotic.
He was like distressed.
Yeah.
And so anyway, he was a younger guy. I went to the dentist. I got all fixed up, and I felt, my pain had gone. And I walked outside, and this guy was still screaming. So I
Yeah.
went up, and I gave him $50. I go, "Will that stop you screaming?" He went, "Oh, yeah." No, I stopped him screaming. I took his pain away.
Oh, you're a good guy.
Is that a good thing to do?
Absolutely.
Probably
But I reckon 10 minutes later, he would have started screaming.
Oh, really?
Well, he's been rewarded.
Who's a comic that goes, you go to give the beggar, and you go, "Don't you go, and I know I'm not going to give you money. I'm going to go, because you're going to go spend it on booze and drugs." And then you go, "Well, what were you going to spend it on anyway?" Booze and drugs.
I think you don't like to be judgmental, but I will for a moment. There was one person. There were two occasions. One was where I went down to put some money on her coat,
Yes.
and she just happened to be sitting on the ground with her coat on the ground. She wasn't begging,
That's,
so I had to.
I love that.
So as I went to dip, I leant in to release the money, realised she was just sitting there on her phone, and it kind of went swooped back up again. Not that I did,
That's funny.
And the other one was, I went to put money in his thing, and he was on the phone. It's just
Yeah,
like,
yeah. There's a guy with an iPhone on this very street near the pub who's got an iPhone.
and you go, well, I guess he's allowed to have a phone.
well, you can have a phone.
But I just wouldn't. I would get on, do my phone calls, and then sit back down next to my hat.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But I do feel for them, and I do want them to have a better day. And if I can make them feel better, I honestly do.
Well, it's obviously mental health problems going on there.
That's exactly right. Okay, so what are the nicknames for it?
Okay. Horse, Skag,
Smack,
Smack, that's
Thunder, Junk.
Junk.
You could just make one up. I could say anything.
Yeah,
I'll go. Oh, he's on
like
the
Winnipeg.
Yeah, he's
some
on
Winnipeg, man.
Look at that guy. He's on the cabbage.
Oh, he's on the cabbage. I like that. He's on the cabbage. He's on the cabbage.
He was on the donuts, but he's
on the cabbage,
he's on
man.
the cabbage now. Yeah, he's on it.
Excuse me, mate.
All right, but anyway, if people do OD, I mean,
stick that adrenaline thing in like Pulp Fiction.
Completely reverses it, and then they get quite violent because they missed out on their high.
Yeah, and it's bad for the ambos.
Imagine that.
Yeah, it's a tough job being an ambo. Shout out to all the ambos.
Oh,
We'd have a few listening.
I hope they do. Because I've
fans.
seen the TV show where they're in the ambulance. So I've been on front line basically because I've seen quite a few shows. But geez, they do it hard, don't they?
It's a hard job.
Yeah, and they should be paid 10 times what they're paid. There, I'm getting political now.
Oh, absolutely.
They're front line.
Nurses, teachers,
yeah,
doctors, they're fine.
Yeah, comedians,
they're fine.
Comedians should be.
No, they're fine. I reckon they're fine. But I reckon nurses, teachers, ambos. Yeah, emergency doctors. Yeah, they all should be paid more.
Yeah, no, they should be. What about specialists who wear bow ties?
Oh, no, they've got enough coin. Who should be paid less? Lawyers. No, come on. They do a good job.
What about QCs? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
CEOs.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's talk about aspirin. Aspirin. What's the difference between aspirin and Disprin?
Well, first of all, yeah. Before that, is aspirin a brand name or is it a name of an actual? Is there something?
No, it's a brand. It's a brand.
Is it a brand?
It was
and
invented.
Disprin, they both got Brin in it.
Let me get this right, because I'm always upset. My kids have asked me. Disprin contains aspirin. There we go. Disprin contains aspirin. And other stuff.
Disprin.
They're very similar.
And so is Disprin less than aspirin? Meaning, what's going to give you more punch for your?
I'd say
dollar?
aspirin's more.
I just remember they never, because aspirin dissolves really well.
Yeah.
That's pretty clear. Great. Leave it for long enough, water goes clear.
I remember.
But Disprin doesn't. Disprin still floats around soggy. And you go, no, you're not. You go, what about aspirin? Clear, much better.
Rob Sitch, who's the doctor, he said it's. I remember him saying it's a wonder drug, aspirin.
Because it's blood thinning?
Yeah, it does many good things.
Yeah, but it changes every week. They always say, this week it's good for your blood. If you've got heart issues, take it. Then they go, maybe you shouldn't.
Really?
I don't know. But I heard that. Some people take aspirin every day.
My mum takes it every day, yeah.
Does she? Yeah.
Well, I think so.
Blood thinning.
I think so.
Is that and warfarin? Warfarin is because my dad was on warfarin, which is, you know what it is?
It's like the cabbage.
It's cabbage, man. It's rat poison.
Oh.
So they've gone, this will kill a rat, but we're going to give it to you anyway. So it would be blood thinning.
When was the last time you took aspirin, you reckon?
Here's tip of the week, okay?
Yeah.
If you've got a sore throat, I don't know why more people don't do this. If you've got a sore throat, the best thing you can do is 2 aspirin.
Gargle.
And really gargle.
Gargle with the aspirin?
Gargle with the aspirin in the AsproClear.
Wow.
Gargle, but don't gargle like quickly and swallow. Gargle a lot. And another thing, a friend of mine says if you you can pick a migraine coming on, 3 aspirin.
Yeah, 3 aspirin and 2 Panadol.
Yes.
Yeah, my doctor wrote that down when I used to get migraines. Migraine.
Because I had an oral migraine the other day, which is where you get the
speckling,
the speckly little lights. And I had 3 aspirin, and it went away really quickly. But if you don't have that, then it can hang around for a little while.
Yeah.
But you were a migraine guy, but you're much better now.
Yeah,
I got on the cabbage.
I got on the cabbage, man. No, I started taking blood pressure tablets, and it changed my life. How funny! My twin brother was getting migraines too,
and did he?
And he said to me, "Get on blood pressure tablets," and I got on them. Yeah, I swear it changed because I would get them every 6 weeks.
And I remember you nearly vomited on TV.
I nearly vomited on the circle. I got one during the circle. And the chef, when they had all those chefs, I was on there. I was sitting next to Yumi when she made the apology to Ben Robert Smith for... Remember there was that whole thing
Were
with
you there
Yumi
that
Stein?
day?
I was there that day.
She made jokes of his...
Of his physical ability and him not being that bright and stuff. And then she was attacked in the media.
Rightly so.
And then
yeah.
I was on the couch with her and she made the apology, but I was almost vomiting. Imagine if I vomited during her apology.
No, those bloopers show, that would be...
I would have been famous.
20 to 1.
Oh, there's that vomit guy. That's the vomit guys here, everyone.
All your good work over the years with Spicks and Specs and comedy would be gone because you could travel the world.
Just the
vomit guy.
And I tell you what... And
Do you
then,
reckon you would have gone behind... Would you Leno have done it behind the couch? Or would you have done it...
Sometimes with that kind of migraine vomiting, you can't control it. It could have been, honestly, like The Exorcist. Projectile. And so anyway, what happened towards the end of the show? They had a cooking segment, and the big fat chef, I can't remember his name, he made pork.
Oh, no.
And then he brought it out on these plates. He's like, try some.
Oh, no.
And I thought, honestly, I'm going to vomit over the credits. And so I went, bye everyone, just went and...
Did you go and vomit?
Yeah, in the toilets. Yeah,
it's nice of you to say goodbye.
It was horrible though because you'd get it.
Would you? What's the first thing you get? The coloured lights.
Yeah,
and then then the pain comes.
Headache.
And the headache is like 10 out of 10.
Yeah,
or 100 out of 100. Yeah,
it's pretty bad. And then
you can't speak properly.
No, I could speak, but then you'd vomit and then you'd feel better.
Oh, that's interesting.
It was a release, but it was all blood pressure related. So if the woman across the road from me used to get migraines, but that was related to her cycle, which is often the way with women. I don't want to talk about women's...
Her push bike. Sorry, that is such a day joke. What, she's got to stop riding that bike.
Tell you what. Anyway, she had a hysterectomy, and that stopped them. That's pretty full on.
Well, I'm sorry, but you can't have
I can't. I had a vasectomy, and I still got them. But anyway, whatever. If you're suffering from migraines and you're a man, it could be blood. Because also with my other brothers too, one of them was, apart from my twin, my older brother was getting them too, and it was blood pressure tablets. Anyway,
what else can we say about it? I don't. You shouldn't have it while you're pregnant. Apparently,
aspirin.
No. What's
your favourite drug out of all those drugs? Do you like a Panadol? Are you a Nurofen guy? Your Dispirin, your aspirin?
I used to be an aspirin guy.
Yeah, I always liked aspirin.
But at the party when all the drugs got together, Aspro Clear was king shit, wasn't he? Dispirin.
I think. What about when Nurofen turned up?
No, this is my point.
Yeah.
The aspirin and Dispirin and Bex or whatever those old ones.
Yeah, they're kind of the old-fashioned ones.
The old-fashioned, all sort of there.
The old fogies.
And then
there's Barocco in the corner.
Yeah, Nurofen walked in.
They're like,
and they go, I've heard about this guy.
Oh yeah, look, he's even a different colour. He's like,
what
like
does he do?
He's thing.
I don't know what it means. He's an anti-inflammatory. What does that mean?
What does that mean?
What is it called? Uber.
Hey guys, I don't just fix headaches. I also fix joint aches as well.
Oh look,
stuff.
If I can have a Nurofen, I don't like to have too much, but if I've got bad pain, here's the thing. Nurofen number one. Aspirin. Aspirin. It beats up the pain. Just goes laughs at it.
Right.
And goes. The best.
I'm a bit of a Panadol guy, I think.
Panadol's good too.
I'm more Panadol.
Panadol is different from aspirin.
Must be.
Paracetamol.
We're not chemists.
Yeah. We are almost.
But Nurofen is I didn't know Nurofen was an anti-inflammatory. Yeah, right.
Oh, yeah, and there's a couple of different ones, but Nurofen, and then there's Nurofen. Then they've got
what makes me laugh? Like the ones that go Panadol back direct. How on earth have they made a drug that goes directly to your back?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, and then they've got the normal Panadol, or normal drug, and then they've got the quick acting. You go, hang on. What? Why not just go straight to the quick acting?
Yeah, I know. The slow Panadol. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So why would you? I know I'd like to hang with my pain for a while. Anyway, it's just
interesting.
So Nurofen. What else can we say?
Not much about aspirin.
Really.
Well, should we have some thinking music? We could play an old aspirin ad, or
we
could play a bit of classic junkie acting, like Train Spotting. Remember Train Spotting, the Scottish movie?
That was a scary film.
Yeah,
that was
great.
bleak and bleak, but very, very good. I don't think I'd watch it again.
No,
but very good film. We could have a scene from that. Or the
Great
trailer
movie.
from that. We could have the trailer from that.
That great
Oh,
Lust
oh.
for Life, that music.
Because
I mean, who's played a great junkie over the years? Ewan McGregor was very good. All those guys in that movie
very
were very good.
But here's what I think. I don't mean to be rude about actors, but I think all actors think they can do an American accent, and I think they can play a junkie pretty well.
You reckon they can all do a junkie?
Oh,
yeah.
What are you talking? Oh, seriously, man.
Colin Carpenter was a bit.
Well, I've got to say, I didn't want to say he was junky, but he
sort of had
he
that-
epitomised that type of guy that was. What's your name? Colin.
Yeah. That was sort of before that became
Carpenter.
popular. He was a bit of a, and sort of Strop was a bit. I think a Strop was a bit.
Sorry.
Oh,
Can you spell it?
There you go.
Yeah. Will you spell it? Oh,
Well, in terms of Australian junkies, what about David Wenham in Getting Square? Remember Getting Square? And he plays a courtroom scene.
I haven't seen that.
And he's like, "Oh yeah, Your Honour. Yeah, no. What are you fucking asking me questions for?" Yeah, pretty funny.
It's pretty. Yeah, I'd like to hear that.
Okay, well, let's see a bit of David Wenham.
What film was it?
Getting Square.
All right.
Made in Queensland, I think. It's
Made-
funny. Made in Queensland, I think. Or maybe it's Sydney. Oh, I don't know. Let's have a listen.
Your full name is John Francis Spiteri.
So?
Beg your pardon?
What?
Your name is John Francis Spiteri.
Yeah.
Thank you. And you
I
reside...
never said it wasn't.
Sorry?
I never.
Never what, Mr. Spiteri?
I never said it wasn't.
Wasn't your name?
Oh, that's crap. It is my name.
I didn't say it wasn't.
Yes, you did. You said it then.
No.
Yes, you did.
Look, I think we might be at cross purposes.
What do you mean, cross? I'm not the one getting cross.
It's all right.
Yeah, you're the ones that are arcing up, getting around accusing everyone of everything.
No one has accused you of anything, Mr. Spiteri.
Yeah, well, what am I doing here then, mate? Excuse me. Who's paying for my bus fare today?
I'm sure someone will sort that out.
Yeah, well, who, mate? I'm on a pension, you know. I haven't got no money.
Well, we'll come to that later.
I see, there you go. That's the same sort of shit them coppers were on about. Trying to get me to say things that I'm supposed to have I know nothing about. You're full of shit, mate. Dead set.
Well...
Yeah, dead set trying to verbal me. You're trying to put words into my mouth and that.
No, no one is trying to put words into your mouth.
Yes, you are.
No, we're not.
Yes, you are. You're doing it now.
Doing what, Mr. Spiteri?
Well, what do you think, mate? Trying to get me to say things you want to hear. Mate, I already told you I don't know nothing about that shit.
Yes, well...
Oh. I'm sorry, Your Honour. I didn't mean to say shit. It's just that this fucking guy's getting to me. He's trying to put words into my mouth and that. Look, I'm not smart or nothing. I only went to junior at school.
He just fell off his chair.
If you heard that noise, he just fell off his
People
chair.
wondering.
Yeah. It wasn't. It was almost like a good comedy sketch.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was one of those bits of a film that kind of didn't fit within the rest of the film by
I
memory.
wonder if he improvised any
I
of it.
wonder if he did.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
come on,
I reckon
guys.
there'll be some dog in there, but I'll make some shit up, man. Seriously, no, I love
You
you.
do a good junkie. Oh.
No, you can't. You couldn't. You can't see me as a junkie because I'm Mr.
You're too healthy looking.
I'm too Mr. Brass.
I'm too fat. There's never
No.
a fat junkie.
Oh, that's true.
No, really a fat junkie. Really.
I reckon
What is it?
I will.
I know what the answer.
Do you know what the answer
I think
is?
I might have it.
Well, if you know the answer, I reckon I'm going to be close.
What is it?
Coca-Cola used to have
Oh yeah, yeah. Had
cocaine in it. Coca-Cola.
7 Up had morphine in it. I think.
Did it?
That's why it's called 7 Up.
It had 7-Up had morphine
Sure,
in it.
it's morphine. Yeah, I'm sure of it. I don't know.
God, I reckon when aspirin first came out, they put a little bit of heroin in there. No, I'm serious. There was a bit of heroin in aspirin. And then I don't know why they would have taken it out because it probably would make you feel pretty good. But maybe they found it was highly addictive or something. I don't know.
I think I'm pretty sure they're invented by the same person.
Oh, the same guy.
I've got a vague memory of that. I don't know when that was. Might have been turn of the century kind of
Would
thing.
it be someone called Bryn or Ron?
Don't know. Maybe Mr. Aspirin. Should we get the answer? What is it, Sam?
Both aspirin and heroin were created in a 2-week period in 1897 by German chemist Felix Hoffmann, who worked at Bayer.
Hang on, I'm confused. So was heroin wasn't on the market?
Heroin was absolutely marketed to people. Yeah, it was a drug.
So you could go down the chemist and go, I'll have some talcum powder, I'll have some toothpaste.
It was a remedy for headaches.
And I'll have a bit of
heroin.
Bit of smack, please. How much smack?
I think they must have realised, I'm no expert, that it was incredibly addictive.
You have been listening to Somehow Related with Glenn Robbins and Dave O'Neill.
How's that, though? Felix, what was his name? Hoffman? I'm so disappointed that he didn't invent heroin and then aspirin, because you know what would have happened? If he invented heroin, he would have gone, oh, invented heroin, guys, and he would have got on the smack, and then he would have sold all his parents.
Well, it wouldn't have gone out. It was just...
he would have sold all his parents' jewellery. He would have, left his wife, and then he's like, I've got to make some money. Oh, no, I'll invent some aspirin. And then he invented aspirin to make coin, to buy the heroin.
Have you played the What Drug You On game?
No.
Because I always wonder about when a drug comes out, like Nurofen, how did they come up with that name?
Oh, yeah, they're interesting names, aren't they?
Yeah, or like, what's some Valium or, what's another?
Mogadon.
Yeah. So what you do is you do a little improvisation. Do you want to do one now?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah. And you have a problem, right? And I ask you about your knee.
Sure.
Whatever. And then I say, what are you taking for that? And then you have to do a make-up name.
Oh, okay.
That sounds like a drug.
All right.
Yeah, and it's... Yeah, and then you can come back at me.
Right.
So you'll have a sore knee, I'll have a sore shoulder, okay?
Okay.
So we're just meeting in the street. And is this make-believe? No, it's not really.
No, but it'll be whatever. Okay.
Okay. Hey, Dave, how are you, mate?
Oh, not great. I've had constipation.
Constipation?
And a sore knee, but I think constipation's a bit more interesting.
And seriously, there are a lot of good drugs out there. You taking anything for constipation?
Yeah, I found a really good one. It's called Clear Out.
Clear
Out. Oh, man. Fantastic.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, are you okay? What's wrong with you?
Yes, because it's meant to sound medical. It's meant to sound
That sounded like a pesticide.
It did.
All right, well,
do it again. Do it again. I'll do it and see if you can
you. Clay, what's wrong with you?
No, it's nothing wrong. What do you mean what's wrong with
you?
me?
You got a sore shoulder?
Yeah.
What are you taking for that?
I'm taking Deltraxitron.
Oh, is that good?
Yeah, it's not as good as Malmonix.
Right.
Malmonixtal.
You should try the one that I've got, Shoulder Fix It.
No, see. No, you're not getting the game.
I get it.
It's meant to sound Having said that, that's what drugs should be called.
Clear Out.
Clear Out. Shoulder fix.
Headache gone.
Yeah. I mean, rather than all these fancy, I reckon they're showing off with the medical references.
Yeah.
So whatever it does, name it.
Viagra.
Like Viagra. Crack a fat.
Crack a fat. Have you got that prescription for me?
Would have been embarrassing. Tony, we got any crack a fat out the back? No, I'm just doing the.
We got some Clear Out.
Yeah,
got some Clear Out.
Yeah, mate. This is the. Sorry.